Good evening. Tonight I am being a little bit earlier than 7, mainly because I'm not feeling very well. And the first treatment that I'm going to do is for myself. And I've been doing treatments all day long. I woke up with a cough, and that progressed into some pain in my upper back and my side of my back. And I was just kind of generally feeling rough. I had some clients, so I had to take care of them, but I did cancel something for myself, i.e., a massage, because I just didn't feel well enough to drive anywhere for anything. So I'm going to open this up for myself. And as I open it up for myself, I speak my word for myself, knowing there is one power and one essence in all things. And my inner system radiates the love force. And it moves into that love force so it can become feeling well. And it has all elements of just resounding with wellness. And as though any, we might say, symptoms that have been going on are cleared. As they're cleared, it becomes obvious that I have a sense of direction of what's going on and what's happening in the world. And I'm taking it a little too seriously. And so we release that. We let this go. As we let this go, there is a real sense of direction and a sense of becoming who you really are, knowing that the truth, whatever that truth is, in the bigger picture will be exposed, will come forward, so that I do not have to be concerned about what's happening next. There has been, I must admit, some anxiety as to what's coming on down the turnpike next. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about a vision I had. I was thinking about what's going on and how much we, the public, don't really have a lot to say in what's going on. We just receive mandates. We receive other laws that we just have to say yes sir, no sir. And it bothered me because I grew up believing in democracy and a belief in an attitude that we could have a say, I guess you could say. So anyway, I was contemplating this, and I sometimes get visions. And I got this vision of this steamroller coming down the road. And the steamroller, then nothing could stop the steamroller. It was just going to roll on down the road, no matter what anybody said or did, or how they opposed it. It didn't matter. You might say the mandates were set. This roller thing that's coming down, and then every time I checked on it, first it was a long way away, and then it got closer and closer and closer. And then the other day, as I thought about this, what was going on, excuse me, I have to cough. And what happened was I noticed that there was a trench that came, so that the bulldozer, with all its big concrete round ball in the front, went straight into that. Now, I took that sort of my vision saying that something is going to take place. For those of you who have listened to me on Norma Talks on Wednesday, I talked that we were going to have to make some choices. We were going to choose different directions of where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. And some people, some astrologers are predicting whether the earthquakes, or some are even predicting nuclear, which I don't really feel that's correct, because that's not what I saw. I saw the bulldozer heading into the channel, and we know that earthquakes can create that. Anyway, I wanted to say that because I have been a little unsettled inside, and it's not good for me to be unsettled inside, because I have people I work with and I do my best by them. But this morning I woke up with a headache, with a cough, and I did have a couple of clients that I needed to take care of. And I have this tonight, and came from one of those places where if you have in your, what do you call it? It's in your mandate. I canceled my massage, yes, because I didn't want to drive feeling like this. But it's like you do what you got to do. So here I am. And in that knowingness, as I come back into the treatment for myself, I know that the law of love, the lovingness of the universe is there for me. And no matter what pains I have in my shoulders or my back, is that they can be lifted, that I can let go, and I can allow life to unfold exactly as it needs to for my highest and best and for the world's highest and best. The knowingness of this is really very, very important. So I want to say that I give thanks for this. I give thanks for releasing and knowing that my truth will be. Now, one of the interesting things that happened this week, I had several people email me saying that they had re-listened to the mental mind treatments, and what they found was that it helped them considerably. And so we need to know that we are all really not separate. There is one power and one essence that's in all things. And so we need to recognize that we have connected to that power. Whether we allow it in, whether we listen to it, that's another story. But it's really about being alive and knowing that we have the ability to be able to put things correctly for us, for ourselves, that we can do that. We can let go of the emotionality. We can let go of the patterns that we have. And instead of creating the same old, same old, same old thing all the time, we can begin to see things in a new awareness. So as I have said in a couple of places that if you can't be here at 7 o'clock for this, and I realize my clock says 6 o'clock, I'm actually an hour early. Sorry, I don't know where I'm at. I thought I was at 7. We're doing this an hour early. Oh, well, maybe I'll be back. People will be coming in wondering what on earth happened. Yeah, me. I'm not quite 100%. But anyway, I did have some emails that came in. A friend of mine who has been on before from Toronto, she is having a tough time health-wise, very tough time. And one of the elements she thinks is that the antibiotics that she's on, because she's got all sorts of things going on with her health. And so I'm just going to tune in to the knowingness. I'm still amazed. It's 6 o'clock, not 7. All right. That just shows you how out of it I am. That the sense here for this friend of mine, her name is Pat, lives in Toronto. What I see here is a need to relax and to allow the differences to come in and take a different perspective, a different place, a different way. So that whether it's an antibiotic, whether it is just whatever, just to accept that everything is happening for your highest and best. It's really about allowing the light, allowing life to unfold. And even though it appears like nothing is working and nothing is happening, it's like trusting the process. How we trust the process of how and what, when and where is really, really, really important. And so we need to be able to trust that. We need to be able to put that in the direction of where we're going. I also had an email from another friend of mine. Her question was, how will a transformation session benefit me? I'm a little prejudiced on that because I'm the one that does the transformation. But let us look at that. Let us pray and do with the mental mind treatment as to the results. What I see here is by being willing to let go of old programming, it brings in a great deal of cheer, like celebration of awareness, of beingness, and that the technique will unfold the patterning that was created when you were quite young. And in the patterning, what begins to happen is that it all becomes clearer for you. And so really, and to answer that, I would have to say, yes, it would help, but there needs to be a willingness to accept what is said. I often find when I'm doing transformation work with people, they can accept to a point and then they can't accept it. It's like we are addicted to our programming. We're addicted to thinking that what we think and see and feel and respond is the way it is. And unfortunately, it isn't that way at all. So I do want to say, I think it will. I think it will change, but you're going to need to be ready to let go of some structures that you have in relation to yourself. Another email that came in was from another friend of mine, and I'm still laughing that I came on at 6, not 7. And Kayla usually comes on and has trouble. So she, as I said, send it to me by 6, which she did, but it was like I was all discombobulated by the time anyway. So her son, Jason, is going to Bangkok, where his fiance lives in another part of that area. And what she wants is the doors to be open for Diamond, which is her name, the lady's name, to reach Bangkok for the reunion, and so that she and Jason can finally take place. They tried earlier around Christmas time, and it didn't work at all. Things have lightened up a little bit now, so there is a way that which that can take place. And I see there's a fruitful conclusion that comes, and really does bring about a tremendous sense of well-being for them both. Yeah. And then she also wants one for herself. So this is risking and staying on course with her visions and goals. I think I was just writing it because I was thinking it was late, but it wasn't. Overriding old habits that sabotage and keep rearing their heads to redirect my energy. One of the things to understand very often is we have habits, and to expose those habits and to clear those habits and is not the easiest thing in the world, because we are kind of addicted to them. It's like, this is how we think, this is how we do it, this is how we respond. And so what ends up happening with that is that you keep on doing the same old thing without the result, not getting the result you want. So what I'm treating for at this point is that the habits become aware, you become aware of them, so you can let them go. You can release them lovingly and welcoming, that you can be in a whole different ball game, so to speak, so that in your sense of self, you can recreate a different environment for what you're wanting to create. Your habits have kept you stuck for a long time. And by being willing to let those habits go, you're going to redirect your life in a whole different way. Now, it's different. And because it is different, you may hesitate. You may pull back into what is familiar. And yet it needs to be recognized that by letting go, you can be familiar of the direction that you're going in and what you're doing and how it works. And so that brings about a real sense of direction for where you're heading and where you're going. I think that's all. No one else has come in. I don't blame them. It's not 7 yet. I really apologize for this. I will endeavor to come back in 7 and see if anybody is on. So we have 2 sessions, but that's my fault. I've been out of it for the last couple of hours in lots of ways. I've got a fever. I'm hot. I have a cough. I ache. Who knows? I did a treatment, as you know, when it began, and it's really about not getting tied up with what's happening in the world, but to believe and to know that all things are in the right place. And I know that, and I just got lost a little bit, not liking what I was seeing or hearing or being. So I'm just going to call this fullness as a time. I will endeavor to be back at 7 for those who want to come on then. Great. Otherwise, I'm going to end this, sit down, let my head get back to normal. Blessings to you all.